Hey YouTube, Dual Academy here, aka Dab, doing a deck profile in a new format of my Merlantian deck, also known as the Water deck. So let's dive in. This is the Monsters of the Water deck. We run 2 Genix Undyne, and with him we run the 2 controllers. Brief explanation here is Undyne sends the Atlanteans as a cost of the graveyard to trigger their other effects, such as snatching and destroying cards, to add the controller to the hand. The reason he's so important is that he gets an instant +2. He gets around cards like Effect Veil and just makes the deck really consistent. He's an extremely important card to the deck, and I probably believe this is probably the best, if not second best card in the entire deck, with the next card coming up being probably the other way around, best or second best. He just adds to the flow of the deck and makes everything happen. He also still triggers into things like Skill Drain, so you can get around other cards. So moving on. We run 3 Deep Sea Divas. This is like either second or first best card, depending on where you put Undyne. Basically, this is the combo maker. When you play Diva, you basically know what's going to happen. Black Rose plays, Gungnir plays, Gatchi, Disco Phoenix, Exceed or Synchro. It's both tuner and Exceed fodder. It's basically like a better tour guide for this deck. And it is just so much, sets up so much players, and it's searchable by Dragoons because it's a Sea Serpent. After the Atlanteans, we were hammering 3 Marksmen. When it's into the graveyard, for all cost of a what monster effect, it pops a card, and when it attacks directly for damage and deals damage to your opponent life points, switch an Atlantean from your deck apart from another Marksman, which leads to a lot of the Diva combos and a lot of the Dragoon combos and OTKs. Very important. I like having this one at 3, and unlike most players, I like having this at 3 as well, because again, this kind of allows the Diva combos to happen. And the extra enhancement just gives you that. What the card is anyway is this gives you an extra enhancement of Sea Serpent per turn, so you can play this and then a Diva, or you can play Diva then this and then play another Sea Serpent like Marksman or Diva again to get more combo plays. And then when this is sent together for a cost of water, you destroy a face-up card. So it's kind of like the reciprocal of Marksman in the sense that it destroys the other cards. And then the most important one I think is Dragoon. This is what makes Genix Undyne like really good. When they send it for the graveyard for a cost of water, you search your deck for a Sea Serpent, so you search for either Whirling Glacier, Diva, an Atlantean, or a Megalo, which is the most common play. Arguably, this is the best card in the deck by some people. I don't think it is. I think this is overshadowed and overrated because of Genix Undyne's interaction with it. But nevertheless, it's still a really strong card. And that's all the Atlanteans I'm running. I don't like Attack Squad. I think he's pointless in the current game. The one Whirling Glacier, I would run 2, but it's searchable easily, and it's graveyard, and the graveyard manipulation is really easy for it. What this card does is, when you have 5 waters, special summon it from your hand, and then take 2 cards from your opponent's hand at random. It's like a delinquent duo on legs. It's really strong, and when you drop it, you win the game. It's like, kind of like Trishula like that. So, just good card. I run 3 Memel Abyss Megalo just because I find this card too essential not to run it at 3. The double attack leads to OTKs, and just the ability to discard the lantern and get the costs and the Abyss Sphere target. What this card does is when it's in your hand, discard 2 water to special summon it, which triggers the Atlantean's effect, and it gets around cards like Thunder King Ryo, Lagia, and Solemn Judgment because it's a card effect, not a inherent summoning. Really strong, and then once per turn you contribute another water to allow it to attack twice, which is really strong in most games. It's 2400 attack. So yeah, pretty much sums up the code. And after the Mermaid line I use, I run 2 Abyss Spike. This card's basic function is to discard an Atlantean to pop a card or search a deck card, and it itself searches out a copy of Undyne normally to get the Undyne faster. But it can search Marksman as well if I need to. And then last monster is I run 3 Abyss Lin, just because Abyss Lin is the card that makes most of the combos start, gets me there. It's the best target for Abyss Sphere, and it just puts in work. 1500 attack, so when it's destroyed by battle or by a card effect and goes to the graveyard, you fetch one Mermail from your deck to your side of the field. That's pretty much all it does, so yeah. Now we're going to the spells of the deck. So we have the Dark staples of Monster Reborn, Dark Hull, Heavy Storm. These 3 cards are best cards in the game at the moment, I think. They're just so good. Arguably, each one has bannable reasons, but I think they're all fine at the moment. Reborn. As for this card, I don't think this card's fine anymore. It lets you return all your Melos or Atlanteans you need, or your controllers, then trigger more effects, and then draw 2 off that as well. It's just not a fair card. 3 salvages. Now this card is amazing. Like, I was running 2, and then Theo was like, put this up to 3 and try it, and I did. And just, oh my god, just going, oh, I'll have the Divas back, or I'll have those 2 Atlanteans back so I can claim a Megalo in my hand. It creates so much card advantage, it's unreal. I've topped this for games so many times. It's not even funny. Like, really, not funny. And onto my trap card lineup. Because I run the higher Memo line, I run the 3 Abyss Sphere. I just really like this card. And using it to get the... what this does is basically, you play this, you get your Abyss Lin, and then this destroys the end phase, and then Abyss Lin triggers and gets another monster from the deck to your side of the field. It just basically creates all your plays, and there's lots of combos with this card and things like Doloran and the Exceeds. It just gets the work done to a degree that's not really fair, but that's Konami for you with card design. I run the 2 Torrential and then the 2 Mirror Force. The reason I run both of these is because I like to have answers to things already on the field, and I like to punish players for overcommitting as well, which is what these are for, and I guess these are as well. Basically, both these, having these together, create really good prevention. And then my other cards kind of like techie, but I run the 2 Warning, 1 Solemn, 1 Solemn Judgment. This card has become my favourite trap card again. I love playing it so much. Just on like summons and things to put people off, and just playing it really aggressively recently. Because once this is set and you go for game, there's not much they can do to stop you. And then the 1 Warning is I was going to try and test 2, but I think it's already got too many trap cards. And the 1 just seems to get in there and do what it does. So I'm going to keep the 1 in. I've twice now flipped this against people playing Macrocosmos, which is pretty good. And my last card is pretty techie, but it's Starlight Road at the moment. This card's like a win condition. Like, you could commit, they flip Torrential, you flip this, they like literally they lose there because there's just no out to it. And then like things like you get attack into a Mirror Force, flip this, there's no out to it. You set this in 2 cards, and then the Heavy Storm, and you go Starlight Road. The star just makes this a win condition. It's so overpowered. And now into the extra deck of the deck. I run 1 Chimera Forge Dragon. I side Cyber Dragons, and I just kind of like this card. It would be a big eye if I had access to it. I run 1 Gachi and the 1 Daigusko Phoenix as my rank 2s. Gachi's just good for the stall, but I never seem to make it at the moment, so I have considered dropping it. And Phoenix is there for the OTKs, which is clicking for 3,000. As for level 3s, we run 1 Leviathan and then 1 Acid Golem. Leviathan because it's water, it gets the Atlantean effects, and Acid Golem because 3,000 under skill drain is massive. The 1 Abyss Dweller for the mirror match and Dark World because I can't side skill drain. It's also handled in a few other matches, and it's good for a few combos involving Dragoon, which I'll get to later. And then I'm running 1 Mermail Abyss Gaius. This card is so underrated. Like in the Chaos Dragon matchup, in the Insector matchup, in the Machina matchup, this card just goes, no, I'm going to stop every play you have. And then the fact they can't attack either just makes it so much better. Synchros, I run 1 Armoring Arm. It's mainly for combo plays, and there's an OTK with this and using Megalo to attack it twice and inflict burn damage. Catasta, Librarian, both in there just because they're level 5 basically. Draw cards and get rid of threats, because the Atlanteans struggle with big monsters sometimes. They also provide some combos that I'll get to again later. Doloran, this is like the MVP of the extra deck, causes so much. Gungnir, again, this card it blows crap up like so well. Black Rose, just nuke the whole field when you feel like you need to. When this gets off, you pretty much win the game. Stardust Dragon, I'm in the Starlight Road, and I prefer this over Scrap Dragon in the current game as a player preference. And then 1 Mistworm, this card wins games. I'd love to have Trishula back, but this card does the work as well. Just gets rid of things that you wouldn't want to be in the way. Last but not least, YouTube, this is the this is the side deck I've been running. It's currently 2 Cyber Dragon for the Machina, the Kirigiri, the Karakuri, the Wind-Ups, and a few other matches like that where I just want a big beat stick to get there and to waste back rows. Oh god. I'm running the one Reaper for the wind-up match and the rope match, because it can just sit there and stall for like quite a good amount of time for you. And if you drop this and Milling Glaze in the same turn, you can rip 3 cards, which is ridiculous. Only 2 Snowman Eaters, because still, like I said before, it's really good against the rabbit matchup. It stops Gwyber from killing it, and it gets to destroy Gwyber. I've started in a few of the matchups as well, like the wind-up match, because I didn't really have much else to do, and it proved to work quite well. So yeah, that's the monster side. I'm sending all 3 MST because I hate macro and dim fissure. I've been considering doing this and some dust tornadoes, but I'm struggling to find the room at the moment. Tell me what you think about that. I'm trying the 2 Gozan because this card shuts down like so many decks just by flipping it over. I prefer this over the Rivalry, just running all the waters. The 1 deck Devi, and before you all ask, yeah, each Diva is a target for this because they make Librarian and Catasta off the summon, so you can get this off. I played against a Memo player once, and I took away his entire hand pretty much. And then when I played against a Dark World player, I took away a few cards from him as well, like his brows and things, which is pretty good. It just seems like it's worth the 1 tech. And then I run 2 Skill Drain. This is kind of like I saw this idea from a few other players, and we just did it. And then Billy Brake did it at YTS, and it does work really, really well because Undyne still gets its effect. And then 2 Mind Crush because it seems to be good meta call at the moment to run this card in your side deck.